I sat on the end of the examining table in a paper Johnny, and I watched Dr. Goldfarb walk towards me, not making any eye contact, looking down at his clipboard, and just saying this. Well, it looks pretty aggressive to me, so we should get in there and do some surgery. You know, I would recommend a mastectomy because, after all, you're 40, so it doesn't really matter. And, I mean, we can do a lumpectomy if you want, but you can go and schedule that with the woman out in the reception area. So Joe responded quietly, you know, we have some questions. And Dr. Goldfarb held his head in his hands and he said, you know, all questions don't have answers. And Joe said, yeah, I know, but you haven't heard the questions yet. And I sat there and I thought to myself, never again is this man going to touch my body. So he had done the biopsy a week earlier, and I can remember him standing over me as he looked down and said, well, this is definitely benign. I mean, I've been looking at breasts for 35 years, and I can tell you this is benign. I mean, if it's not benign, we'll have to see you again, and somebody will call you and tell you to come in. But that's not going to happen. So you're probably never going to have to see me again. And then the call came, the 6 words, the doctor wants to see you. So that's how someone told me I had cancer, just those 6 words, the doctor wants to see you. I had been at a conference in Washington, D.C., and I felt great. And I came back for a routine mammogram, and I felt like my body had betrayed me, and that I was living someplace where I just didn't even recognize the furniture anymore. When we left the office, I went outside, and I just sobbed. And I thought to myself, okay, I need people around me who love me, who care about me, and who can help see me through this. So I need a dream team. Joe was the first member of my dream team. And now I needed a surgeon. So I went home and I started doing my homework, and I called my friend Emmy Hunt, who was a registered nurse in the ER, and she said, Melinda Molan, call her. So I did. We made an appointment, and when we went in, a woman came out in the reception area, and she had on black flapping pants and a long jersey, and she put her arm around me, and I thought, this must be the intake nurse. And then she looked me in the eyes, and she said, don't worry, we can do this. She answered all my questions, and when she didn't have an answer, she said, I don't have an answer to that. She answered Joe's questions, too. And when we left her office, Joe said, she's the right choice for you. She's smart, she's opinionated, she's forceful, she's going to be with you. She let me know that I was the one who was in charge, not somebody else, not her. She saw me through another surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and every week I would see her. Also on my dream team was my oncologist, Brian Dorsk. Brian saw me through the hells of 6 months of chemotherapy and all that goes with that. My mom, who was also a breast cancer survivor and was terrified, but she cleaned my house and she cooked meals and she was there for wisdom and strength. And my father, who often never shuts up about anything, was silent, so I knew he was terrified too. Most of the time, there were people who just ignored me because they didn't know what to say, and I wanted to scream, I know you don't know what to say, but here's what you can say. You can say, I don't know what to say, because that's better than not saying anything at all. And if you think that because you're ignoring me, that you're not going to catch it, it's not contagious. But just ignoring me doesn't save you from the possibility of becoming a cancer patient yourself. I remember one day Betty Maloney called me and she asked me, what can I do? And she said, I can take you to the doctors. I can do laundry for you. Just tell me, what can I do? And I said, will you invite me for lunch and talk to me about something besides cancer? And she said, done. So the next week, we ate crab meat sandwiches and potato chips, and we drank ginger ale, and we talked about gardening and cooking, and the word cancer never came up, and I was so grateful. So as time went on, I realized that having a dream team was really important. It was what really saved me. And even to this day, while Joe is no longer my romantic partner, he's my best friend. So he saw me through one of the hardest things in my life, and he's still there for me now. And even though my mom and dad are no longer alive, they're there in spirit for me, as is Betty Maloney. So there are two other members of my dream team, and I want to introduce you to them tonight. And they're really important because they've been with me throughout this whole experience. And so sometimes when I'm taking a shower, I think about them, or I'm getting dressed, or I'm putting on body lotion. And so when they come to my mind, which is often, you know, I reach down and I hold them in my hand. If you're only listening to this audio, you have to picture that I'm now standing in front of about 80 people holding my two breasts in my hand. So I reach down and I hold them in my hands and I say, "Don't worry, girls, we're in this together." Thank you and welcome to the corner.